Turnaround Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
All right, welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. For this next bout, we have got the arch rival All-Stars going up against the Northeast Ohio Roller Girls. I am Woody Ty. I'll be one of your broadcast announcers. And sitting beside me to my right,
that would be Kyle High Club. It's been quite a fantastic round of derby that we've had so far here. Tampa took the victory over the Mad Rollin' Dolls. In men's derby, St. Louis Gatekeepers took the win over the Twin City Terrors. Detroit All-Stars took the victory over Old Capital City. And, of course, as you just saw, Santa Cruz had just defeated Steel City, and that was quite an intense bout, I will say.
Yeah, I had that first call of the day with the Detroit versus Old Capital City, and Detroit put on quite the jammer exhibition, I would say today, Kyle. And they played a really good game. So our position here is right in front of the arch rival ladies. You probably heard them there getting ready for this next bout. As you can see on the screen, we're still kind of milling around a little bit here.
Now, arch rival is actually entering into the tournament undefeated for their 2015 sanctioned record, actually, with last competing in the 2015 spring roll tournament. They took home all 3 victories. Whereas the Ohio Roller Girls have been rocking a 6-3 for their sanctioned 2015 season, and they are coming into Brouhaha here on a 2-game victory.
So we're wrapping this down right here. We get ready to get this next bout underway. Ohio in the white with the green highlights. Arch rival in the black with the pink highlights, the pink pivot stripe, and the pink star on the jammer. Starting out for arch rival will be Brickyard, and out there for Ohio is number 365. That's going to be the Smackamist. And there's the start whistle. Both jammers tied up at the back of the pack, as you can see, trying to get through. Arch rival with a little bit of advantage here as they try to make their way, but we're going to get to turn 1 with no advantage for anybody yet. And it will be arch rival out to the first lead jammer of this bout. Brickyard, like her name infers, very fast. originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, which is why she has that name, flutters her fingers on her hips, calls off the jam.
Looks like Brickyard was able to pick up 1 point on that scoring pass there.
So we have an early 1-0 lead in favor of our arch rival. It's going to be Kitty Lickerbottom out there for Ohio, and it's going to be Bricktator out for arch rival as both jammers line up shoulder to hip.
And the jammers are on our notorious RED-sponsored jam line here.
Bricktator out with 2 to beat, pushing that pack as far as she can and gets that lead jammer as she explodes out and gets around the track. Kitty Lickerbottom out finally on her initial pass. And Bricktator calls it off, picking up 4 more points for arch rival, going to give them a 5-0 lead.
Definitely off to a good start here. We've seen a lot of solid wall blocking and a lot of good defense here from both teams that have been going on. Or like from all the teams that have been playing here at Brouhaha.
Both of these teams are very seasoned teams. They've been in WFTDA for a long time, and arch rival has been a huge asset to the league and really helping future leagues come up. All right, get the next jam started. It's going to be the Smacktivists going up against Swanson. Smacktivists are going to get called for a blocking out of bounds penalty right off the bat. So it's going to be a power jam.
It's a Sakatumi power jam here, as arch rival has taken the lead jammer.
Making her way around turn 1, going to come in and get on her first scoring pass, try to add to that arch rival lead as she pushes that pack forward, using her hips to try to get through.
Definitely it looks like she's having trouble against a wall, like a blocker wall here that we have going on. Swanson trying to make her way, push through the pack here, but it's getting slammed out of bounds and is ultimately going to be recycled to the back of the pack.
Yeah, she's going to have to go all the way back up to turns 1 and 2. Still lead jammer, so she has the opportunity here to try to score a few points and call it off. Stays inbound, nifty on 1 foot, but no, got called for the track cut, so she's going to be going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. And looks like it's getting full over there at the roulette table. So in a power jam right now, the Sakatumi power jam is Ohio Roller Girls.
And Smackabis just slammed through those blockers there to clear a scoring pass now. I'm sorry, to clear her initial pass.
And we're going to get a forearm called and another trip to the penalty box. Jammers seem to be confused as this one will go the full 2 minutes, as lead jammer status was lost on the penalty.
And Swanson just shoots through the inside there to grab 4 points on the board for arch rival. That's a Rydell skate grand slam there. It looks like the jam gets called, and as we are just 4 minutes down our first period here, arch rival has a 10-point lead as it's a 6-point lead as the score is now 10-4 as Ohio just picked up some points.
Gotta hate it when those numbers magically appear on you there in the middle of the call. All right, Kitty Lickerbottom again out there for the Ohio Roller Girls, and that's going to be Harmony Killer Brews. And we're going to get an official timeout before this one gets started. Going to reset. Looks like we got to get some things straightened out on the penalty box there. So might be a good time right now to talk about the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin. Dr. Eric Feifel of the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin and MOSH wishes you a safe Brouhaha weekend. Here all weekend for injuries on and off the track. Of course, if you are in lovely Milwaukee, Wisconsin right now, enjoying Brouhaha.
Now, just letting you folks at home know that there is a chance that you may hear some whistles bleeding over as we kind of have a little curtain going on here between track 1 and track 2 here. But we'll do our best here to make sure that we give you the accurate calls as they go on with track 2.
And make sure you follow us on Twitter this weekend. Hashtag Brouhaha 2015. I'm hashtagging the scores all weekend and sending them out, so make sure you get on there and follow us and see what's happening. If you're stuck at work and you can't watch us, of course, if you stuck at work, can't watch us, you're not hearing us right now. But tell your friends about us. Hashtag Brouhaha 2015. Head refs are getting some things straightened out here, as our officials always do. Work an amazing job of keeping this thing moving smoothly. Brew Skate Nooses, the over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. We have over 50 colors and patterns to fit your team, your league, or your personality. If that isn't enough, contact them for customization options. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or online at bruisedsn.com. Bruised Skate Nooses.
All right, now that the action is back underway, lining up on our notorious RED jammer line is number 12, Kitty Lickerbottom, jamming for Ohio, as she goes up against number 75, Harmony Killer Brews for the arch rival Roller Girls. Harmony getting recycled to the back of the pack after a nice block from courtesy of the Ohio's defense there.
That pack is really stretching out, but finally Lee Jammer is going to go to Harmony as she makes her way through on the outside. Kitty Lickerbottom still tied up in there on the backstretch of the track. And Harmony got knocked to the inside there, wisely called it off, knowing that Kitty was wrapping around on the outside.
And it looks like that. Basically, first initial scoring pass, both teams were able to score 4 points.
This bout staying very close together right now. And as we thought they would, both these teams are pretty evenly matched. Shimmy Hoffa lined up on as a pivot out there for arch rival. The jammer is Brickyard again. Gonna try to make her way through and get lead jammer again. The Smacktivist going up against her for Ohio. Tiptoes her way along the outside line and gets lead jammer for arch rival. Smacktivist knocked back to the inside, has to come back around. Ohio trying to crawl, catch the track cut there, didn't happen. Very quick feet by the Smacktivist to get back in play and not get called for that.
Brickyard picking up 5 points on that last scoring pass, while Smacktivist has cleared their initial pass.
Pretty much a chance there to just to kind of get in and get as many points as she could before Smacktivist could get to the back of the pack there.
And of course, as we are 7 minutes down in the first period here, arch rival has a nice little lead going over on Ohio as the score is 23-4.
Neither one of these teams had to travel too gosh awful far. Of course, arch rival coming from St. Louis, Missouri.
And next up on our notorious RED jammer line is number 10 for Ohio, Laura Out of My Way Man.
And it's going to be Shimmy Hoffa out for arch rival. Pivot in the last jam, jammer in this one. And does get lead jammer status as she makes her way through.
All right, just a little correction. This actually looks like it's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, never mind. Yeah, the Brickator.
Yes, and she calls it off. Calls it off as the jammer for Ohio is coming back through and picks up their points, extending their lead 27-4 right now. Arch rival over Ohio Rock and Roller Girls.
And it looks like Ohio has been held at 4 points since the third jam here in this bout so far.
Well, let's see if Valhalla can get some points here for Ohio. She lands up with the white helmet cover with the lime green star on her head, but Swanson right now has the early advantage as she stretches out that pack and does get lead jammer out of the apex between turns 1 and 2.
Hala is really having some trouble getting past the blockers here, but with some help from her teammates, she manages to go through on the inside and clear her initial pass.
Yeah, her blockers help clear that line for her and really help get her through. But Swanson very wisely probably heard that clock going off in her head and said, I got to call it off because I know the other jammer's coming. Seeing Kitty Lickerbottom out there again. She seems to be out there about every third or fourth jam, it looks like. So we're going to get a misconduct for what used to be known as engaging after the whistle on the jammer. So in the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box will be Hala. So this will be a power jam, a suck it to me power jam for arch rival. And they get a chance to extend their lead, and Harmony does get lead jammer on the outside.
It was definitely some excellent work keeping in bounds and making her way out through the outside there.
Yeah, Kyle, arch rival will do that to you. They'll wear you down throughout this bout, and as it goes along, I know they practice endurance and everything else, and they'll just start to wear you down. And Harmony, looks like she is skating in Harmony out there. She's making her way through. Now out of the penalty box is Hala, but going right back to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box for a quick track cut on the apex of turn 1. So it is a very short respite in between the Sakatumi power jams for arch rival.
Ooh, but it looks like Harmony is making her way to the penalty box for a back block.
Yes, it was. She went into the back of that pack full steam. So now Hala has been released, and she will rejoin in as a chance. Now, she is still on her initial pass. It's very important to remember she's not scoring points here. She's trying to get through for the first time. It will go the full 2 minutes, so she has about 45 seconds to try to get through, but gets recycled along the backstretch, and they're going to have a star pass. Right now, we have an inactive jammer in skater number 10. That's Laura out of my way, man. And she does make herself whole to get out of there and will become the jammer.
Of course, now both jammers are out of the penalty box here, as Harmony was able to pick up 4 points on that last scoring pass.
Out of my way, man, is making her way through, picking up some points there against arch rival as the seconds tick down in this 8th jam. And going to put 3 points on the board for Ohio.
But arch rival was able to come through ahead and grab 4 points of their own. As the score is now, it looks like the score is now 46 to, let's see.
And we've got the officials calling timeout, so we have to get a couple things straightened out. Sock It To Me, you know, they're sponsoring our Power Jam today. They sell fun, funky socks, socks with tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustaches, unicorns, and other things magical. With over 200 different sock designs, there is something for every personality, from punk rock to peacock and everything in between. Power Jam.
And folks, if you've been following along with Brouhaha all day, be sure to check out, if you want to look at all the stats that have been going on, be sure to check out http://madrollindolls.com, where you can see all the stats of today's Brouhaha tournament that will be updated as the game goes on. Woohoo.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people really do like to keep up with that, so it's great to have that information available. So we're halfway through the first day here, and Kyle, and we're, you know, the action has been great, and seeing a lot of action, great effort from both teams out on both of our tracks today. Brickyard 400 lined up there with the black helmet cover with the pink stars. We get this next bout started, the next jam started. The Smacktivist out there, number 365 in the green, in the white with a green lime green striping, makes her way to the inside and gets lead jammer. All right, Ohio picks up their first lead jammer in this bout, 9 jams in. But you never know when that motivation comes in. Just get the one lead jam. 2 points by Brickyard. The effort at the end before the 4th whistle helped her pick up 2 points, but not before Ohio picked up 4. We got Kitty Lickerbottom lining up for the Roller Girls, and that's going to be Brick Tater, number 48, lined up. She's kind of got her forearms down on her knees, blocked there from the screen, but she powers her way through, trying to find a hole in that Ohio Roller Girls defense. Pack spread out about 60 feet right now as it comes back together. Kitty still stuck in that pack, trying to find her way through. On her scoring pass comes the Bricktator, though, and she picks up 5 fingers from her referee. High five in the air.
Now, Bricktator was actually a former Bay Area skater, and you can tell by how she's playing tonight that she's been really just giving it to the defense here and manages to clear the pack and, of course, grab 4 points on that last scoring pass there.
Man, did you see her go through that wall right there? She just kind of basically turned sideways and just slid right through before Ohio even knew that she was in. That was amazing.
And now next up on our notorious RED Jam line, we've got number 68 Swanson for the arch rival Roller Girls going up against 365 Smacktivist for the Ohio Roller Girls.
Smacktivist getting the yeoman's work today on that jammer line for the Ohio Rock and Roller Girls.
Both jammers are having trouble trying to clear before they even get to turn 1, as the defense has been really just walling up right here.
Yeah, neither jammer able to get any headway, but especially for the Smacktivist, she's getting recycled back a lot.
Smacktivist definitely having some trouble against arch rival here, as it looks like arch rival has managed to clear the pack and take over the lead jammer status.
Smacktivist finally gets out on the initial pass. Swanson trying to pick up points, desperately trying to tap her hips so her jam ref can see, and galls it off. Picking up 2 points for arch rival, extending their lead. As we're halfway through this first period, arch rival 59, Ohio 13.
All right, and next up on our notorious RED Jam line is number 75, Harmony Killer Brews, going up against 815.
That's going to be Valhalla.
Is it actually 815 is Big Rig, who is jamming for the first time tonight. And
but it's gonna be Harmony out there with lead jammer, as Harmony's going to work way around. Little hip and a skip on the inside, taps her hips, calls off, picks up 4 more points for arch rival, gives a wave to the crowd. And her fellow roller derby from Minnesota looks like sitting over there against the wall. She used to skate for Minnesota, so now she's waving at some of her former teammates out there.
All right, next up on our jam line, it looks like we've got 365 Smacktivist going up against 400 Brickyard. Brickyard off to a quick start there, is trying just to push the pack just as far away as possible in order to try and get around them, it looks like.
Gonna get a little help there, gonna get a clockwise block called, and Brickyard powered her way through in that hole once it opened up. Smacktivist on defense now. As they're working their way through, Smacktivist still on her initial pass. Can't get through.
Well, Brickyard was able to pick up a Rydell Skates 5-point grand slam on that last scoring pass.
Smacktivist still having to skate to the inside, hands on the knees. Brickyard going to make her way around. Looks back at the pack to see where the opposing jammer is. Knows she's got a chance to make up some more points here for arch rival to extend that lead out. That clock went off in her head. She didn't even look back. She knew that she needed to call it off. The great jammers do that. They know when they have to call it off. They know I've got 20 seconds, I've got 15 seconds. Get through, get as many points as we can and call it off. And Brickyard did an excellent job there.
Absolutely. It seems like arch rival has a good coordination between their offense and defensive lines here, and that is shown as they're are able to grab the quite a nice lead here in the first period.
All right, that's Bricktator out there for arch rival and Kitty Lickerbottom for Ohio. And Kitty's not going to be out there for long. She's going to be going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino for a forearm.
So of course, is going to leave this to be a Sakatumi power jam in favor of Ohio.
And Brick Tater was in the box as well, too. I didn't know, didn't see her go in. So now it's going to be a full 2 minutes of derby action here. And she is on her initial pass, so this will be scoring opportunity here for arch rival. As Kitty is on her initial pass, trying to make the way through the pack.
It was a very nice move by Brickyard, taking advantage of the confusion there and going through the inside gap in order to score a couple of points for arch rival here.
Ginger Assassin going to go to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box for a back block on the jammer. She's going to get 30 seconds, but did the job because Kitty had to recycle all the way back and slowed her down.
Brick Tater picking up 4 points on that last one.
Oh, and you had a great camera shot of home with that fancy footwork along the outside line, tiptoed on her toe stops all the way down. Kitty Lickerbottom went around to the outside, tried to use the speed to get around, but going to get called for a track cut as number 4 out there for arch rival was able to get the track cut called. That's going to be Mayor Frances Slayer. And she was certainly the mayor on the track there, getting the call.
And that looks like a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam, courtesy of Brick Tater, number 48 for the arch rival Roller Girls.
Yeah, Ohio's had their jammer in the box twice in this jam, and that is not going to help their cause to get back into this game. As the 2 minutes wind down, we've got 11 minutes, less than 11 minutes to go in this first period, and it's going to be 103-13 as arch rival, or 16. There's those magic numbers popping up again. Swanson's going to start out there all alone. It's lonely as in a power jam, but I'm sure arch rival will take it. There's a starting whistle. Advantage right now, arch rival in the power jam, but Ohio has all 4 blockers on the track.
And so far, these past 5 jams, Ohio has been unable to score any points on the board here, as the arch rival defense, as you can see, are just keeping their jammer contained in the pack of the pack.
Arch rival gets the lead jammer, and the pack tightens back up within about 20 feet of each other. Kitty Licker trying to play defense, slow down.
Swanson giving a nice couple blocks to the blockers themselves, let them know, hey, I'm here and I'm passing you. As she picks up 4 points on the board for arch rival.
Yeah, all right. Number 10 out there for Ohio, Laura Adama Wayman. Normally pivot, has taken the star pass and is the jammer. But Swanson calls it off, seeing Adama Wayman come and take some points and goes back to the bench.
Now we've got 9.5 minutes left here in the first period, as the score is 108-16 with arch rival in the lead here.
It's certainly easier out there to play this game when you have jammers that are quick, fleet of foot, because then your defense can play defense, and they don't have to worry about trying to help play offense and get the jammer through. When you have jammers that can find their own holes or have the speed and the agility to get through, it makes it easy. As we're seeing exhibited today with arch rival with this 110 lead. We're going to get a high block called on one of the blockers against the jammer for arch rival, and she got lead jammer, but she got recycled back in, so she's still on her initial pass. That is not a point-scoring pass. As ICU2, that would be on a flash, going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Alongside Joyner in the penalty box, looks like it's going to be Ohio's jammer, number 2, Valhalla, as she gets a forearm penalty called against her.
So you know what that means. It's a sock it to me power jam.
Sock it to me.
I could use some cool new socks. I need to go check those guys out.
And Harmony manages to pick up a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam here.
Harmony tiptoeing away on the inside. Can't find a hole there. Goes back to the outside. Ohio doing a really good job on defense right now, trying to hold her back. But no pack is called, so they got to let her go. Going to be an out of play called. So Yet another Ohio Roller Girl is going to be going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Alongside another Rydell Skates 5-point grand slam to further the lead of the arch rival here. And, ooh, just jamming through the inside there. That's another 4 points put on the board by Harmony, as both jammers are now out in the box.
Ohio may be down on the scoreboard, but they have not given up on effort. They are out there hitting just as hard, playing this thing like it's a 2-point differential game right now. Hala finally gets out of the pack. Could not pick up any points on that before the jam was called. As we're down to 7 minutes to go with this first period at this game.
It has definitely been quite the intense game here. A lot of strong defense has been going on. And once again, folks at home, we do apologize about the whistles going on. We are sharing kind of tracks here. Our 2 tracks are separated by a curtain here, so
yeah, they're end to end. There's no getting around it, and it's here. And actually, was watching the previous game and on track 1, and actually both jammers got called for false starts because they thought a whistle went over here and they thought that was their start whistle. So it is confusing. Brickyard gets through, calls it off, taps her hips. Hey, you've heard us talk about the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. If you're coming up to Milwaukee this weekend, you can play, stay, and get lucky at Milwaukee's #1 entertainment destination. Table games, dining, shows, hotel, it's all here, only at Potawatomi, Michigan.
And arch rival was able to grab 5 points in that last scoring pass there, as now we've got number 12. Number 12, Kitty Lickerbottom, going up against number 48, Bricktator.
And I'm sorry, we're in Milwaukee, not Michigan. When you read these sponsored reads and it says MI.
And Bricktator was just able to split apart that defense there in order to grab the lead jammer here for arch rival. As it looks like number 99, Clover Kill, is going into the box for Ohio.
Yeah, it looked like Bricktator was going to able to slide right through there, but Ohio locked her down before she, with a little bit of second effort, got out of the pack and picked up another Rydell Skates grand slam. Pack really stretching out now, Kyle. Almost completely down the backstretch as each jammer is trying to cut through. Going to get a track cut called on Bricktator. So you know what that means. It's a Sock It To Me Power Jam.
But of course, and also on the track, it looks like we've got a star pass, as it looks like it's going to be Laura Out of My Wayman is going to be the new jammer here for Ohio.
And she never starts out that way, but she has gotten 3 star passes today and has actually helped Ohio either curtail points for arch rival or get points for Ohio. A great use of the star pass. Now Pack really stretched back here, all the way back to turns 3 and 4.
It looks like Bricktator is out of the box here and skating with a fury. She was able to pass the pack there and grab 4 points on the board for arch rival.
Yeah, Ohio, I think, lost track of her, and she was able to slide around on the outside and pick up those points. Out of My Way Man is saying out of my way, man, right now to Mayor Francis Slayer. But the mayor will not give up this election easily. We get a multiplayer block called. We have another Ohio Roller Girl going to the Potawatomi Casino penalty box.
And that jam gets called, but Out of My Way Man was able to pick up 4 points, to close up that gap a bit for Ohio here. As we are just 3.5 minutes left in the first period, the score is 151-29 with arch rival in the lead.
And it's going to be the Smacktivus going up against Swanson on the notorious RED jammer line. And somebody's going to the box. Not sure what's going on. The officials are calling the captains out to the middle of the track. ATI Physical Therapy. When injury strikes, you have a choice. Choose ATI Physical Therapy, the official sports medicine provider for your Brew City Bruisers. Visit them here at the site all weekend.
Say goodbye to untied skate laces. Derby laces stay tied tight and where you want them. Get yours at derbylaces.com.
The officials are going to slide back over here and talk about the official review, as we can see by the jam timer making the O with the hands. Hopefully we can get some information here and find out what this is about.
But in the meantime, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Classic Slice Pizza, who is your friendly neighborhood Roller Girl-owned pizzeria, serving up huge slices, salads, desserts, and apps made from scratch, specializing in vegetarian and vegan items, and the best gluten-free crust in the city. Classic Slice Pizza has been a proud Brew City Bruisers sponsor from the very beginning. Stop in this weekend and grab a slice and a $2 tall boy. Classic Slice is in Bayview and open until midnight.
Pizza sounds really good. You know, Ohio's going to have to figure out a way in the second half. We're down about 3.5 minutes here to go in this first half. In the second half, they're going to have to figure out a way to get their jammers through. Seems to be the biggest thing right now. Arch rival is getting their jammers through, getting lead jammer, getting the points on the board, but Ohio's going to have to find a way to get their jammers through and take a little bit of pressure off of their blockers and let the blockers focus on the arch rival jammers. So I'm sure the coach will address that.
Now, one thing I've noticed about arch rivals jammers is that they're either going to the outside of, like, you know, when Ohio's trying to wall their pack in, they're either trying to go to the outside or they are able to split the pack apart and shoot through the middle here. And that's been able to give them lead jammer for quite often throughout the bout. And, of course, there's a shot of the penalties going on so far right here on the Derby Laces track at Brouhaha.
Arch rival has gotten lead jammer every jam except jams 9 and jams 13, when Smack got it in 9 and there was no lead jammer in jam 13.
And speaking of Smacktivist, they are jamming number 365 for Ohio, going up against number 68 Swanson for arch rival on our notorious RED jam line.
And it looks like only 2 blockers out there for Ohio, and that's definitely advantage for Swanson as number 68 is able to get out and get that lead jammer. But a nifty move there by the Smacktivist, a little pirouette, and got out of that pack, and now is able to catch up with Swanson and hopefully add to some points.
Ooh, calling off the jam as she gets hit, but that's some dedicated jammer training right there in order to be able to do that.
Yeah, ARG is very good at, you know, knocking out that jammer, keeping them out of play, having them to recycle, which obviously gives the advantage to their jammer, which allows them to focus on getting through the pack. So ARG, a veteran team out here today and showing their talent.
And it looks like on our notorious RED jammer line, we've got number 75 Harmony Killer Brews going up against number 12 Kitty Liquor Bottom.
Lead jammer is going to go to ARG again as Kitty is kind of stuck up. Now going to try to play a little defense, try to slow down that ARG jammer before she tries to power her way through. Gets knocked out of bounds, recycled to the inside, just out of camera shot there. As we see that Harmony is knocked to the inside herself, tries to make the call. The officials having nothing to do with that. Does get out, and that's going to be another power jam, or I'm sorry, Rydell Skates Grand Slam.
Was that from the last time?
Yeah.
Kitty still trying to play defense out there on the initial pass, can't find the way through. Star pass attempt here, and does get out as the pivot is able to slide out here. That's number 815. That's going to be Big Rig. I think that's the second time she's gotten a star pass today, Kyle.
Absolutely. Ohio has found some pretty good use with those star passes, I will say. They usually seem to do it at the right time, and usually it pays off in the end.
So, a little confusing here on the scoreboard. Skaters are still out there. but it looks like we'll have to see what's going on with the clock here at home and on the track. Skaters are still on the track.
Hey, fingers crossed we get a freebie jam.
Yep. And now it's 0-0.
As it looks like Cleveland may be playing ghosts right now, according to them.
Hey, starting close and clean on the Notorious RED. Smell clean even if you play dirty. You can get it here at Brouhaha at the Derby for All booth or order online at notoriousred.com.
And we'd just like to give a little shout out to some of the sponsors who have been sponsoring, part of the track that we have here. Our Power Jams, sponsored by Sakatumi. Grand Slams are sponsored by Rydell Skates, while our penalty box is sponsored by the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Our Jammer line is sponsored by Notorious RED, and our MVP awards are sponsored by Witch on Wheels. And while, of course, this is all taking place on the Derby Laces track number 2 at Brouhaha. Which, folks, if you're enjoying the excitement and whatnot, feel free to use your social media to take some pictures. Message us on Twitter at #Brouhaha2015.
It wouldn't be a tournament if you didn't have a technical difficulty at some point. So let's get out of the way early. Get out of the way now as they're getting everything figured back out here.
It was 1698 for a second there.
So just ignore what you see on the screen other than the times. Right now the scores are off just a touch here. And that's obviously not the teams, and as those gone away. ARG certainly playing very well today, being able to control the lead jammer status, as we talked about earlier. Only didn't have it twice, and once because there was no lead jammer. And that's a recipe for success in this game. Get the jammer out, get lead jammer, and take control. And like I was said earlier, Ohio's going to have to figure out a way to change that in the second half, but certainly can be done. They're a team that's been around for a while and can bounce back from this. So very excited to see what the second half brings us as we get everything straightened out here, and the officials said, let's finish up this half. So $1:30 left in the first half on the period clock, 2 minutes in the jam as we are lined up on the Notorious RED jammer line. And that's going to be Brickyard out for arch rival, and Laura Wayman, Adama Wayman, for the first time started as jammer. We've seen her. We've seen Laura get the pass. This time she's just going to start off as the jammer. And knocked out of bounds is Brickyard, but very quickly back from the outside. Does an arching loop back in to get through. And get right back into the fray. Gets her hips just back past number 365, the Smacktivist, to avoid the track cut.
But it looks like it's going to be a Sakatumi power jam, as Ohio's jammer, Out of My Way Man, has received a back block penalty and will be making her way to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Well, it looks like Brickyard was able to pick up 4 points on that last scoring pass there.
Brickyard calling out plays as she hits the back of the pack, telling her blockers what she wants them to do.
And that's a 5-point grand slam, Rydell Skates grand slam for arch rival here.
Stretching out that pack all the way back. Arch rival very wisely stretched it back to about 45, 50 feet to keep Laura Out of My Way Man from getting an easy return to the track.
Now, stretching out the pack seems to be arch rivals' strategy these past few jams, as we've seen some really long packs going on there. Skaters have been bridging through, and either results in a no pack or takes away all the Ohio blockers, so that arch rival is able to scoot ahead and grab 4 points on the board.
And we're going to have another penalty, though. This is going to be a Sakatumi Power Jam twice for a track cut. She got through the first time, got back in, but the second time got knocked out of bounds. And that's going to end the jam and the half. We'll wait to get the score up here. 4 more points for arch rival as the coach comes out and gives 5s to the team. It's going to be 193 to 29. And you have a great shot there. And you can see the Ohio penalties are starting to stack up there. Some of them with 4 penalties. So that's going to be important in the second half as well, too, Kyle.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so we're going to take a break, and we'll let you run to the bathroom, get a drink, and we'll join you back here in about 7.5 minutes. Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as we are here for the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha, the 6th annual Midwest Brouhaha. It's great to be. I am Woody Ty, and I am beside my broadcasting partner, Kyle Highclub.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's a great first half action. Arch rival really controlling the jammer, but Ohio coming back out here in the second half. We'll see what's happening. If you're watching at home right now, that is Gotham. They're warming up right now on the track 2, so that means they're up next. So take that lunch break, leave work early, whatever. It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out and get ready to watch that next bout as well. They'll be going up against Minnesota, I believe.
Now, Woody, I got to say, I'm actually looking forward to the second period here because right at the last, couple of jams and, more towards the end of the first period, Ohio really just banded together, and they've actually started to make some headway on, the lead that we have going on here. So, I'm a little excited to see what they're about to, what kind of strategy they're going to come in here with,
Well, there's a reason they play the game, and that's you never know what's going to happen, and it's depending on what the combatants out there do, the contestants, and we'll certainly sure they didn't go in that locker room and say, well, let's just give up. And I'm sure they're ready to come out here and really fight hard in the second half. Hey, just a reminder, too, if you're around or you want to keep up, hashtag Brouhaha2015. And I am going to be posting all weekend, and I'm sure some of our fellow announcers will be as well, too, and the fans in the arena. By the way, I want to remind you, if you came last year, it was the U.S. Cellular. Make sure you look. Hey, here we go. Make sure you're looking for the UWM Panther Arena this year. Don't get confused. You can be driving around for blocks going, I know the U.S. Cellular Center's here somewhere, but it ain't. So we're going to start off with Ohio, with the arch rival in a Sakatumi Power Jam. And it's going to be Brickyard starting in the second half, just like she did in the first half. And we're going to get a forearm called on one of the blockers. Skate the way to the penalty box. That's Biggerig.
The Ohio defense really just came out aggressive so far at the start of the whistle, it looked like before. But taking advantage of the gap on the inside, arch rival was able to grab a 5-point right out skates grand slam.
Yeah, you can't give Brickyard 6 inches on that line. She'll go through. Laura, out of my way, Lorman is looking for a high block there. Didn't quite call, but she was grabbing her face. But she does get working her way through on the inside, trying to find any gap that she can, and gets through for her initial pass. And Brickyard gets knocked out of bounds, calls it off. No need to try to fight that back to the inside. With a smile on her face, making her way back to her bench. Again, reminding you that arch rival is in the black with the pink highlights, wearing the black with pink pivot stripes, and Jammer Star, Ohio, in the white with the lime green stripes and the matching green helmets for the most part. See one black helmet out there.
And now next up on our jamming against each other, our notorious RED jam line is number 12, Kitty Lickerbottom for Ohio, going up against number 48, Brick Tater for the arch rival.
Quickly gets out and gets lead jammer. She takes one last hit, getting out of the engagement zone. Back to full strength on the track here. Hard hit there. That was Shira Power, knocking one of the Ohio roller girls down to the track. Kitty tucks the helmet cover in her hand as she tries to make her way through, potentially looking for a star passer, trying to confuse the arch rival defense, but it is not working. Arch rival is all on it.
Ooh, a little jammer on jammer action here. As we got actually, I'm sorry, it looks like we got an illegal procedure done here while the star pass was going on against Ohio, which looks like this is going to make it a Sakatumi Power Jam in favor of arch rival.
All right, so you may have seen the pivot go to the penalty box. She was released because it was an out-of-play warning, not an out-of-play penalty. So correctly released, by the head official back in play, but it was an illegal star pass, so the jammer has to go to the penalty box as the jammer.
And Brick Tater calls off the jam after picking up 5 points on that last scoring pass there.
The star pass rule is a very interesting rule. If it's an incomplete pass or an illegal pass, then the jammer has to go to the box as it. If it's a complete pass, then it's on the pivot. If she gets a penalty at that point to go as a jam. She'll go as the inactive jammer.
All right, and next up on our track 2, sponsored by Derby Laces, is Gotham versus Minnesota. Now, I've been talking to a couple people around here, and that's definitely an exciting bout. A lot of people are looking forward to see. So be sure to, keep your eye on here for our brouhaha coverage.
I know I'm not going very far from where I'm sitting right now to watch that one. Meanwhile, back on our Derby Laces track, it is Swanson, lead jammer for arch rival again. Takes a hard hit from Kitty Lickerbottom out there and was able to send her to her knees. Kitty will play a little defense. If she can't get through that pack, she will pause and then play a little defense before getting back into that kind of that active jammer role to try to get through. Speaking of which, she does get through on her initial pass. Swanson taps the side of her hips, calls off the jam. Picking up 3 more points for arch rival. Gets a little high five from one of her skating partners out there on the track.
Now, I got to tell you, Woody, it looks like that Ohio really was keeping Swanson back there for quite a while and was forced a jam called, which was some good, solid defense from the Ohio Roller Girls. As it looks like we've got number 365, Smacktivist, going up against number 75, Harmony Killer Brews, on our notorious RED jam line.
That is going to be Harmony out there going up for arch rival. And this pack isn't going very far. There seems to be a little jostling out there trying to get through. Nobody can find a way. And now the pack is moving. And lead jammer will go to arch rival as Harmony gets through. And that's going to be the Smacktivist out of that pack. Harmony taps her hips, calls it off, picks up 4 more points for arch rival. Want to make sure we thank Hinckley Productions. They've been a friend of Derby since 2008, providing live video production services and bringing you this live broadcast of Brouhaha. Could not do without the wonderful people here supporting us today. Right. Brickyard out there for arch rival in the jammer position, going up against Big Rig, number 815. Big Rig with her elbows on her thighs as this jam gets started.
Ooh, and Brickyard grabs the lead jammer, which is going to make this the 5th jam in a row since the start of the period here that arch rival has held the lead jammer status.
The arch rivals picked right back up where they left off at the end of the first period. Not a whole lot has changed for them in getting out through, picking up points, playing great defense, and doing what arch rival is known to do. But Big Rig there used that advantage, slid around to the outside very quickly. Very fast skater. Big Rig was able to slide around and get out and force Harmony to call off that jam.
Absolutely. That's one thing I've been noticing so far about Ohio this period is while they may not get the lead jammer status, while they may not get the lead jammer status, they have been forcing the jam to get called and keeping it low-scoring plays here.
That's going to be Brick Tater out there for arch rival, hands on her knees as they get ready to start this next jam. Laura Wayman for Ohio, and guess who got lead jammer? That's awesome. She said, "Get out of my way, man. I want that lead jammer," and she got it. And she skates around, knees bent through turns 1 and 2.
But Brick Tater following closely behind there. Of course, with some good jammer perception and observation, Ohio was able to call that off and keeping it a 0-0 score on that last jam there. Definitely some smart playing, I would say.
Sometimes not letting the other team get points on the board is as important as putting points on the board for yourself.
All right, and it looks like next up on our notorious RED jam line is number 68, Swanson, for the arch rival Roller Girls. And making her jammer debut is 1098, Amy Spears. It's first time jamming tonight for Ohio.
Yeah, why not mix it up a little bit, see what else we can get done out there. Knocked out of bounds, going to have to recycle back to the back of the pack.
And, of course, there's more of that arch rival splitting the pack there, like stretching it out in order to, take away Ohio blockers so that they can pass through and, of course, score the lead jammer status, as Swanson has picked that up.
Track cut call from the outside pack ref, and Amy Spears will be going to the Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Swanson picking up a Rydell Skates 5-point grand slam in that last scoring pass there as she enters back into the pack.
Working her way through, trying to find any hole she can, going up against Flash. But powers her way through off of that left skate and picks up another grand slam. Ohio working desperately to keep those points from getting up as they work together in tandem, holding back Swanson. Swanson digging in on her toe stops in the polished concrete as she tries to slide her hips past.
Now, I got to tell you, Woody, from seeing the Ohio defense, ICU2 and a Flash has really been doing some fantastic blocking work. And, they're pushing the jammer to the outside or, keeping it like contained in there. And that's some pretty impressive work from Ohio. So.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you consider that how well the jammers have been doing. Going to get a low block called on the jammer. So that's going to be a sock it to me power jam for Ohio. And we're going to get another star pass as the star is passed off to the pivot. That's the Smacktivist who we've seen jam today, so no surprise there. No points, but Ohio will be starting with a power jam on this next jam.
And it looks like jamming for Ohio is number 12, Kitty Lickerbottom.
And in the box, Swanson will be starting. Now, will she will be eligible to get lead jammer if she can get out and get through the pack as she's starting in. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-on-3 blocker situation here.
As it looks like arch rivals Jammer and Pivot, Swanson and Mayor Francis Slayer are in the box.
We have a timeout on the track. The officials are going to come over here and get something figured out.
Looks like it's Ohio timeout.
It is an Ohio timeout. Gives me a chance to talk about Field 59 video platform, powered the live streaming technology behind the 2014 Roller Derby World Cup in Dallas, and now powers the live stream for the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. Power Jam your Derby bouts with Field 59's video solutions.
And, of course, one of our sponsors, Dr. Eric Feifel? Sorry, the Orthopedic Institute of Wisconsin and Mosh wishes you a safe brouhaha this weekend. We are here for all your injuries on and off the track. Contact us at the orthoinstitute.com.
Smacktivist really pushing that pack forward. Slides through, tiptoes on the outside, keeps her balance, stays in bounds, and gets lead jammer for Ohio. Makes the way through.
Now, I got to say, one thing about Smacktivist is they really have had a strong endurance in there. And, man, despite that, they've done a lot of jams so far in this game. Smacktivist has really just given it their all, and it's been pretty impressive so far, I got to say.
Swanson out on her initial pass. Smacktivist still trying to get through. Pick up points on sliding on the toe stop. Calls it off with an acrobatic call off. Most acrobatic call off of the day, I would say. So we're winding down. Well, about 2/3 of the way through this this second half here. We are back to full strength on the notorious RED jammer line. It's going to be Texas Chainsaw Sass Kicker for Ohio, and Harmony out for arch rival. I believe that's the first time we've seen Texas on the line for Ohio as a jammer.
And, of course, that last jam saw the first points of for Ohio in this period so far. So. Ohio has definitely been giving arch rival some pretty strong battles so far in this second half here.
Lead jammer earned by Harmony Killebrews She skates up to the back of the pack. Not a whole lot of urgency as she assesses, figuring out which way to go. Texas still trying to make her way through on her initial pass. And that's going to be a Rydell Skates grand slam for Harmony and out of the pack on her initial pass. We had a star pass there. Laura confused me there, saw the number 10 and said, hey, we had a star pass.
But Harmony called off the jam before anything could come of that and put 4 points on the board here for our arch rival. As we are just 17 minutes down here on our Derby Laces, track 2 at Milwaukee's Brouhaha 2015. And be quick, folks, if you have anything you'd like to say on Twitter or you want to share some of your Brouhaha pictures, be sure to use the hashtag Brouhaha 2015.
Brickyard going up against the tight 3 wall of Ohio. It's going to be Kitty Lickerbottom trying to find her way around 3 of the arch rival, but it's going to be Brickyard again getting lead jammer status. And she has done it to perfection today, almost getting through, getting lead jammer and racking up the points. She looks where the other jammer is, flutters her fingers on her hip bones and calls off the jam. Putting 4 more points on for the ladies from St. Louis, Missouri. I wonder if ARG brought us any of those lovely St. Louis baby back ribs. That would be good right about now.
And, of course, it looks like that was the 7 out of 8 lead jams for Brickyard so far in this second period here.
I thought it was close to perfection. I couldn't remember if she'd gotten it every time, but I knew it was really close.
99.9%.
Yeah, right. Right now out there, it is the Smacktivist again going up against the Bricktator. And Bricktator comes out lead jammer. Mama said it wasn't nice, but she didn't know what it was like to be a jam ref. Bricktator with some fancy footwork, hopping to the outside, getting around the last blocker, and picked up 4 points. Yeah, the Bricktator and Brickyard both look like very spry still out there with a lot of energy left, a lot of bounce left in their step, and making their way through the pack and picking up the points. But one thing we're not seeing in this second half, Kyle, that we saw in the first half is a lot of multi-scoring passes. I think you touched on it earlier. Ohio is doing a much better job of controlling those points and not allowing arch rival to get on the multi-point scoring passes.
Mm-hmm. They've definitely tightened up their defense, Woody, and as well as they've been able to knock the jammer out of bounds and then recycle her to the back of the pack here, which has proven very effective in keeping the points down.
As we just saw there in this current jam that we're in. But right now, Big Rig going back just a little bit herself, and having to recycle to the inside now. Lead jammer status has been awarded. Earned, I might rather say, by Swanson. That was a tough fight to get through there. Big Rig now makes her way out of the pack and trying to get some points on the board for Ohio. Swanson takes a look over her left shoulder, sees Big Rig coming, calls it off quickly, not allowing any points.
Apparently our producer is letting us know that we're doing great on one of our first broadcasting things here, so it's pretty awesome. But this has been quite a fun game to actually watch here and so forth, and especially this second period, as the strategies have now changed a little bit, and both defenses are tightening up quite a bit, and so as it looks like we've got Smacktivist jamming on our notorious RED jam line against, looks like Harmony.
Yep. Oh, and we've got bodies crashing and flying everywhere. It looks like 43 out here at 5 o'clock in Milwaukee. If you do come to town this weekend, there are a lot of construction, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. Fantastic move. It was missed off camera. Unfortunately, Harmony on one skate, bent at the waist, arms outstretched to get through and keep her balance and get through on her initial scoring pass. Powers her way through to the inside, picking up points for arch rival.
Ooh, but Smagdavis, they were able to easily, well, not easily, but they got through the pack on the inside there and able to pick up 4 points here for Ohio.
Smagdavis has not given up the fight, because once again they stepped to the inside trying to find any hole through that arch rival defense. Harmony with her hands resting on her kneecaps. Smagdavis calls it off, ending the jam, picking up whatever points they can to help Ohio. Brew Skate Nooses, the over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. 50 colors and patterns to fit your team, your league, your personality. And if that isn't enough, call us. Contact for customized operations. You can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or online at bruisedsn.com.
And the action is back underway here as we've got number 10 jamming for Ohio, which is Laura Out of My Way Man, going up against number 400 Brickyard for arch rival, who has become the lead jammer here.
Yeah, picking up, and it is going to be a Sock It To Me power jam, as we're going to get a track cut called on Laura Out of My Way Man, going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. That, by the way, is in Wisconsin. Not Michigan. Don't go to Michigan looking for that. All right, Brickyard assessing the holes, trying to find any gap in the defense. Dances left, dances right. Knocked down, knocked out of bounds. Gets back to her feet, recycles back. And when she did recycle, there was a gap on the outside. Found it and picked up another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. We're back to full strength on the jammers. Lead jammer is still Brickyard.
But it looks like Out of My Way Man has cleared the pack for initial pass.
That clock went off in Brickyard's head, turned around, looked, and saw the jammer coming from Ohio and called it off. So 10 minutes left to go in this one. The action is still very heavy on the track right now as they line up at the notorious RED jammer line. We're not missing for the action here, Kyle.
It looks like we've got number 2, Valhalla, going up against number 48, Bricktator here.
Or as I like to call her, Valhalla. Working her way, dancing on those toe stops, trying to find her way through to get on that initial pass. Knocked down, spun around, does a recycle to the back of the pack. That's going to be a Rydell Skates Grand Slam as Bricktator works her way around again.
Coming down the outside, dodging the blockers there with a nice little move. Bricktator goes ahead and grabs a 5-point Rydell Skates Grand Slam there.
Haven't talked a lot today about the Ginger Assassin out there, but really doing a great job of controlling those blockers for arch rival. And if you're not sure which one Ginger is, look for the red hair. But this arch rival defense has kind of gone unsung today as the jammers have controlled the points on the board, but the defensive efforts out there by arch rival. We're going to get a timeout called by Ohio. It's going to be a great time to talk about Classic Slice Pizza. If you're coming out to the event this weekend, Classic Slice Pizza is your friendly neighborhood Roller Girl-owned pizzeria, serving up huge slices, salads, desserts, and appetizers made from scratch, specializing in vegetarian and vegan items and the best gluten-free crust in the city. I'm sure some of us here at this booth appreciate that.
Especially if it's got like pineapple and pepperoni on there. Oh, that's some good stuff.
I'm telling you what, we got to stop talking about this food. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to line up before this next bout with Gotham and Minnesota.
Now, folks, you may have heard us talk about the Sock It To Me Power Jams, but what is Sock It To Me? Well, Sock It To Me sells fun, funky socks. Socks with tacos, cupcakes, ninjas, mustachios, unicorns, and other things magical. Ooh. With over 200 different sock designs, there's something for every personality, from punk rock to peacock and everything in between.
Yeah, so Kyle, I don't know if this is your first brouhaha, but if you haven't been to Milwaukee, you definitely have to experience the food and the beer while you're here. We got in early last night where they were able to do that. Went to the Smoke Shack, and they were really good food and beer down there, so had a good time.
Oh, definitely. I would actually have to say that this is definitely my first brouhaha, but the second time seeing roller derby out here is I did back in February. I did go see the Brew City Bruisers take on, I think it was like the DuPage Derby Dames back in February there. And, that was quite an exciting bout, I would say.
Swanson in hard to the back of the pack, making her way through. And it is the Smacktivist as they get out. Swanson waits, taps her hips, calls it off.
Definitely looked like we had quite the fast pack going on over there.
You know, I wanted to you mentioned Brew City. We haven't talked about it, but the effort that goes into putting in this event this weekend is crazy. And any team that has done tournaments before knows not only to put it on, but to play and to try to stay on top of everything. So big shout out to Brew City for what they have done to get this going on this weekend.
6 years.
For 6 years.
It looks like we had a star pass right at the gate here as number 12.
That was Kitty Lickerbottom.
Passes it off to number 10, Laura Out of My Way, man.
Gets out first, but can't be Lee Jammer because it was a star pass, a legal and successful star pass. And now it's an all skate as we go around the track at high speed. All skate at this time. Harmony picks up a point or two, calls it off. Ohio quickly to the notorious RED Jammer line. Yeah, this is a great event out here too. It's a great the Panther Arena is puts on, they're a great host, making sure that everybody's needs are met. And you can sit, I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but you can sit right in the middle and you can see both of the Derby Laces tracks at the same time. So it's a great place to be this weekend. If you get a chance, if you've got a short drive, I would highly recommend it, heading north of Chicago and hitting Milwaukee. Big rig out there for Ohio. And
Brickyard for arch rival, who has grabbed the lead jammer status here, as it looks like we've got two blockers, one from Ohio and one from arch rival, making their way to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box.
Yeah, they gambled a little too much out there, and it cost them. And Big Rig slides to the outside, then dices her way to the inside and gets out of that pack on her initial pass and flies to the back of the pack, trying to pick up any points for Ohio, but arch rival calls it off quickly. Great effort there by Big Rig to really seize that opportunity. It's a fantastic move as she slid to the outside, used her speed, and then quickly stepped to the inside and got her way out of the pack.
Indeed, that's some of the impressive derby action that we've seen just all day long so far here. Is that all these jammers have honestly just blown me away with some of the agility and some of the moves that they've actually been doing. I mean, but it looks like we've got a timeout called.
Yeah, I think it's an official timeout. So this is like 3-on-3 basketball here. We've got two. Nope. Ohio does have three blockers out there now. So it's going to be three blockers for Ohio, two blockers for arch rival, and jammers are at full strength. It will be the Bricktator going up against Texas Chainsaw Sass Kicker. I believe it's their second time starting on the jam line for Ohio.
And folks, if you're curious about all the stats of the games that have been going on here at Brouhaha, well, be sure to visit http://stats.madrollindolls.com to see all the games and so forth and all the individual player stats that have been updated, that have been going on throughout here today. And, of course, any social media, any pictures or tweets that you would like to send to us, or just cheer on any of the skaters or teams that are playing here at Brouhaha, be sure to use the hashtag Brouhaha2015. And it looks like the game is underway as we've got Bricktator going up against the Texas Chainsaw Sass Kicker.
All right, so we had a penalty box violation as one of the arch rival skaters entered the box, communicated with someone in the box, which you cannot do. And now that's Black 1900 going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box for that illegal procedure. Ohio holding a stiff four-wall out there.
We got some jammer on jammer action happening off camera here.
Yeah, we've got Brick Tater knocked out Texas and now skating backwards.
A little backward skate, going on a little field trip around the track.
And now Brick Tater rejoins the fray, which allows Texas to get back in behind her. And you know, that's just, I mean, a little strategy. It allowed the blocker to come out of the box. You know, we see the 30-second penalty time, to me, is one of the best rule changes ever. And it's helped the game. And we see the teams now get more into what I call a penalty kill mode, like we see in hockey, where there are things happen now that they'll skate just a few seconds longer to help get either the jammer or the blocker out of the box. And we saw that there. And that was a great move that time on part of the arch rival jammer.
Absolutely, and the play is back on as we've got Valhalla jamming for Ohio Roller Girls going up against Swanson for the arch rival.
We've got skaters Hala trying to get through, knocks down a couple blockers. But the action is at the front of the pack as the pack stretches long. We've got stretch from the beginning of turn one to the middle of the back stretch. And now the pack tightens back up again.
And folks, off camera, it looks like Valhalla is making her way to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box for a track cut. She was knocked out of bounds and had one skate out as she was spinning around, and as soon as she brought that second skate back in, unfortunately that did result in a track cut because it went out of bounds.
A little offense being played right now by our arch rival. Hadn't seen much of that today, but since we are in that sock it to me a power jam there, to have a chance to play a little offense. Going to get a forearm called now as Swanson's going to go to the box, and Hala is going to be released and return to the track. So we're going to go the full 2 minutes on this one, Kyle.
Which we've got about 50 seconds left of.
Hala now trying to find any way through the pack, bouncing left, bouncing right. A hole opens up and attacks it head-to-head with the Jinja Assassin.
And a Flash attempting to help out her fellow jammer there, trying to break up the blockers and get a gap going on. But it looks like Swanson is back out on the pack here, so both jammers are going to try and make their way.
Flash got called for destruction, went back too quickly, destroyed the pack, and that's going to be a trip to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. Another star pass happening as it's going to be Kitty Lickerbottom. The pivot took the star pass.
Skaters just falling on top of each other over there around turn two.
And that will be a low block called as when she hit the back of the pack, her skates knocked out the skates from the defender, knocking them to the ground. Classic low block. Got about $2 left in this one here as we're wrapping this one up, Kyle. Ohio fighting to the end. Not an ounce of quit in them. And we're going to get the coaches called over to the head official. Going to just have a little chit-chat for just a second here. There was a little confusion at the end. Like we said, we talked about earlier, these tracks are back-to-back. The Derby Laces track are back-to-back. And there was a little action afterwards. I don't think that it was there was actually definitely no harm. But there was action going on in that. So a little confusion there with these whistles so close to each other here. But arch rival really playing a great game today. The jammers, especially Brick Tater and Brickyard, as we've seen 90% of the time for Brickyard getting the lead jammer today, and really putting the points on the board for arch rival.
Absolutely. Although I also got to say that we have a very fantastic ref crew going on here, because even though whistles are bleeding over, they're maintaining a good communication, maintaining fair calls on plays and so forth. And it's really been keeping the game flowing very well without, too much, per se, confusion from the refs themselves here.
Harmony took a hip check, stayed on one skate, stayed in bounds along the outside line, and picked up the lead jammer status. She had actually picked it up. It got recycled back in the pack. So this will be her first pass on this jam, and that's going to be a Rydell Stakes Grand Slam for Harmony. Kyle, looks like the Ohio's back to full strength on the blockers.
And, ooh, as noted by Anna Flash, just sending Harmony all the way to the back of the pack with a nice just side hit over there. It looks like they're going to try and get her as far back to the back of the pack as they can in order to try and buy some time, like for their own jammer to get through here.
Big Rig is going to be going to the Potawatomi Hotel and Casino penalty box. I don't think she's going to be playing any card games, but you can do that if you want to come up and visit this weekend while you're here.
And Harmony grabs 4 points after a nice little hop, skip, and a jump around the apex there and calls off the jam here. As we've only got about 45 seconds left to here in the bout tonight, or today. As we're going to get one more final jam here going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Hashtag effort for Ohio today. And definitely did not give up the fight. Speaking of hashtags, how about hashtag brouhaha 2015 if you want to tweet out what's happening.
All right, it looks like we've got Brickyard jamming for the arch rival who just quickly grabbed the lead jammer status. But I believe jamming for the first time tonight is 0125, page of lead for Ohio.
Yeah, Brickyard is going to end this thing the way she started it with a very fast pickup of lead jammer. Just exploded to the inside, just like she did again there. And she picked up another Rydell Skates Grand Slam. As the period clock has come to an end, the jam clock still's got about a minute and a half. And Brickyard going to add to her point score for the day. As she takes a tumble, gets knocked down out of bounds, but bounces right back up.
And one thing I've noticed about like arch rival is that they've had more often than that when they get lead jammer, it's usually just right out of the starting whistle, right out of the gate. They manage to just find a small gap and exploit that to get ahead. And then the defense has been doing a fantastic job of keeping the Ohio jammer contained in the back here.
And on the 22nd jam of the second period, that is going to end it for this one as arch rival finishes like they started. Lead jammer very strong, and the jammer's kind of controlling this. 367 to 41, and this is a great effort by everybody that was out there today. Great bout, and I'm telling you, if you're going somewhere, go somewhere quickly, because coming up next, it's Gotham and Minnesota, and nobody wants to miss that.
Absolutely not. That's going to be quite amazing right here on Derby Laces track number 2.
Yeah, so it has been a pleasure to call this one with you, and for you folks at home to allow us to enter your home today or office. And stick with us. There's a lot more great action coming on. I am Woody Ty.
I'm Kyle High Club.
And we'll see you next time right here at Brouhaha.
Take care.
Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit our website at www.roller.rydellskates.com.
Come celebrate summer with the Dairyland Dolls, Saturday, June 20th and Saturday, July 11th at the Hartmeyer Ice Arena. Doors at 5, action at 6. But wait, there's more. The Dairyland Dolls will be shaking things up with a special outdoor exhibition bout on Saturday, June 27th during the Festival Food Shake the Lake celebration at the Monona Terrace. Event opens at 5, Derby at 6. Come for Derby, stay for fireworks. Find the Derby in you. MadRollandDolls.com.
Around Skates is proud to support the 2015 Midwest Brouhaha. We are a Derby-owned roller skate shop in Buffalo, New York. Our focus is providing our customers with innovative and quality skates, parts, and protective gear from all the top manufacturers. Our customers represent a variety of skating styles and backgrounds. Our boutique shopping experience focuses on finding the right skates and gear for you. We also add a bit of style with our fun accessories and clothing. Visit us in Buffalo or online at turnaroundskates.com.
Hi everybody, this is Zach here from Rydell Skates, and we're here to talk to you today about an exciting new product we have. This is our R-Fit footbed kit. It's designed to help alleviate pain and reduce some soreness that people commonly get while skating. First, let's talk about the R-Fit footbed itself. It's a high-density foam with a soft top cover on it. It allows for a lot more cushion and support for a safer and more effective skating session. On the back side, there's Velcro components that allow you to attach adjustable arch supports and heel wedges to it, which is really where all the customization comes in. Installed in the footbed is a blue arch support, which is neutral. There's also a red arch support, which is for high arches, and an orange arch support, which is for low arches. Installation and swapping them out is really simple. All you need to do is just peel the Velcro off and then install the new insert. The heel is another area of customization. You can use the included purple heel lift to elevate the heel in the boot, which can reduce heel slippage, irritation, or shin splints. Or you can use the included green heel wedge. It's angled, so depending on the way you install it, it can help correct pronation or supination issues. This metatarsal pad can be installed on the top side of the footbed to help reduce numbness in the toe and ball area of the foot. Getting the proper fit is really simple. What you'll need to do is take your existing insole out of your skates. Then all you need to do is line the two up on top of each other and trace and trim to fit. The R-Fit footbed kit is available now at any of our authorized retailers. And for more information, you can always visit our website at www.roller.rydellskates.com.
Come celebrate summer with the Dairyland Dolls, Saturday, June 20th and Saturday, July 11th at the Hartmeyer Ice Arena. Doors at 5, action at 6. But wait, there's more. The Dairyland Dolls will be shaking things up with a special outdoor exhibition bout on Saturday, June 27th during the Festival Food Shake the Lake celebration at the Monona Terrace. Event opens at 5, Derby at 6. Come for Derby, stay for fireworks. Find the Derby in you. MadRollandDolls.com.